Hey cuties, my name is Sky and welcome to another tutorial. Today we're talking about textures in Unity, specifically how to use them and how to add new textures, and maybe a little bit extra. So let's dive right in. All right, here we are back in our tutorial project that we created in our last video. And if you haven't seen that last video, it goes through all the stuff on setting up Unity and getting these avatars in, and I will put that up there somewhere at the top so you can link to it and not be lost as we get into this, because we're not going to really talk about that stuff. Anyway, we have all of our avatars. I am just going to focus on the casual version today. So let's zoom in on that. Extreme close up. So we're going to go ahead and hide these other avatars, the other models. And to do that, we're going to go up here and we're going to click on each of these in turn. I'm just going to hold shift and select all of them. And then I'm going to click this little check mark up here. Boop, and they're going to go away. Let's do the same thing for the boards. Click, click, and they're gone. And then we just have this avatar to focus on. And we're good to go. So let's talk about textures. So what are they? What are we doing with them? I'm not going to go into like super depth on like the parts of the texture and how it functions together and all that stuff. Since I know you just want to know, how do I put the texture on the model and get that going? We can do another tutorial on like breaking down Poyomi and the different settings and things like that. If that would be helpful, let me know in the comments. All right, so we're on our Dear Casual. I'm going to open this up by clicking on the little drop down arrow there, and I'm going to click on body, and we're going to see down here is all of our shaders. Let's go ahead and collapse that just so I can show you all the shaders. So we have our eye materials on this body, we have our body material, and we have our half gems, which are part of the piercings. So you can see on kind of like, if I click on horns, we have antlers material. If I click on the garter belt, we have the garter belt material. If I click on the leg warmers, we have the leg warmer material. And each of those materials tells that that piece where everything should go on it. Like, where's the metallic part? Where is the strap part? On the deer, like, where is this brown part? And we can kind of see that if we, oops, I'm in the avatar settings. If we open this up, and this is Poyomi, and this is an old version, we can go ahead and update that too while we're at it. So on the texture down here, and I opened it up, and when you do that, it might be locked, and you'll just have to click on unlock shader, and then it's going to unlock it. You'll see everything turn blue. So if I do that on the eyes, you can see right here that it's locked. We'll click unlock, and you can see the eyes turned blue. And you'll see down here it says compiling shader, and that is your computer struggling to figure out what's going on. If I had a 4090, it would be done in 2 seconds, but I don't, so we'll just move on from there. You can also go ahead and lock in optimize shader if you're finished messing with the shader. That's going to save you time when you upload your avatar, because as part of the upload, it's going to go ahead and lock all of the shaders before it uploads them, and that's going to take some time. So if you can just lock the shaders as you use them, it saves you time in the upload, depending on how much your computer's struggling to get all that data sent and compiled and compressed and everything. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to double click on this. It's going to open up the picture, and you can see that this is like all of the information on the avatar and where each piece is. This is a leg, this is an arm, this might be the butt. I don't know. It's one of these. This is definitely the chest, and this is definitely the back, and this is a weird seal head that looks horrifying. But that's all the different parts, and then by putting that in here, it kind of compiles it all together and tells it where to go on this deer. And you have your normal map, which, depending on the complexity of your character, you might not even need, but it's good to shove it in there. So let's talk about materials. These are textures. The whole of the thing is the material. Materials in Unity are denoted by the little circle half moon. That's what I'm going to call it. Quarter moon? I don't know. It's a moon with a circle. And if you take those and you drag them on the avatar, you'll see that everything changes. So we have different bodies here. We have our casual body. We have our Fey body. Oh, and they opened up. So now you can see kind of the whole of everything. If we collapse it down, you'll just see the circle. But if you open it up, and I'm doing that by sliding this slider down here, you can see like this is the whole of the texture of the material, all the textures and everything. And so if we take this and drag it on top of the avatar, you can see that it changes. And that changes the location. If we go down and we kind of click on the model again, on the body, you can see that it is now the body goth material instead of the body casual material. So let's go ahead and drop that back on here. We'll go back to the casual material. And we're going to go ahead and update the casual material. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and bring this back down because it's easier to work with when you can just kind of drag stuff in here. I'm going to go back to assets just so I can work from the base here. I'm going to open up my File Explorer, and I have this folder that I created called Custom Textures. This is a file I created with Substance Painter, and hopefully doing a tutorial on that as well at some point. So if we open our Custom Textures folder, we can see that I have the base color, the body base, the height, metallics, normals, roughness, emissions, and matte caps. And so we're going to drag this folder onto the project here, and that's just going to import it into our project. Keep in mind that things stored in your project are going to be in a different location. So anything you drag into the project is going to basically duplicate all of those files. So that's why your project file can balloon and become ginormous. Okay, so we have our custom textures here. And you can see they're all on here. So one way we can do this is we can just click on the body and we can drag everything over into the new category. Now this is good if you want to keep things like your emissions layers and stuff and you don't want to mess with starting a whole new material from scratch. Like this one has all the matte caps in it and everything. So it'd probably be in some instances easier just to drag the new files on top of the current file, which you're basically overwriting the body casual one. So if we wanted to do that, we would just click on the body base color. We're going to drag that on top of textures. And you can see it turns into my purple fox here. I mean, purple fox? I'm a deer. Bah! No, that's a goat. Okay. Or was that a sheep? Anyway. We have our normal map, which we can just drag onto here. And you can see that it kind of changed the shading and stuff on here, which is kind of what your normal map does. It might do some weird stuff, which if that happens, you just click on the fix now, and then it'll fix it to the model so that it's not all foobarred. And you know, we have other areas that we can drag things into. Now, because Poyomi has so much going on in here, one of the things I like to do, I'm just going to Control Z and go back to our before times here. One of the things I like to do is to go ahead and change this to standard, which you just click on the drop down here and you click on standard. That's going to change it to a standard shader, which is like the default that Unity uses if you didn't have Poyomi installed. And here you can see like all of the categories. So we can go ahead and take our body base color, drop that in there. We can take our metallic, we can drop that in there. We can take our normal map, we can drop that in there. And we can take our height map, we'll drop that in there. If we had an AO layer, that would be your occlusion. And then we can go ahead and click on the drop down again and click on Poyomi tune. And it's going to go ahead and compile all of those things we just dropped in with the way that the shader was before, because all that information is still stored on the material. So there we go. You can see it still has the matte caps and everything else, but now it has all of our textures that we dropped in as well. And that's going to help in terms of like, I can't find where where to put my metallic. Where do I put my metallic? Little things like that can make it easier. Now, if you wanted to start from scratch, let's say that we don't want to overwrite the body casual. We want to create our own. So in this window down here in our customs textures window, we're going to right click anywhere in here. We're going to click create and we're going to go down and select material. And that is going to create that should create a material. Create material. There we go. I don't know why I didn't do it the first time, but yeah. What are you doing, step tutorial? So let's see, we're going to call this purple deer, right? How did I change the name? I just single clicked it and typed in the new name. So now you can see on this one, we're starting with a standard material. And same thing, we just go ahead and drop the base into the albedo. We drop the normal into the normal. We drop the metallic into the metallic. Metallo. We drop the height map into the height map. Anyway, you get the idea. So once we have that, we can change this to a Poyomi texture, just like we did before. And now we have a base Poyomi texture that we can take and drag onto the deer. And if you have multiple models, that also makes it easy to just kind of drag. So if we want to drag that onto every subsequent model, it will drag all of this that we have in the settings. So if we go in here on this model and we change something, it's going to copy it to every single other model that has this same material on it, which is handy if you have multiple versions of the same model, but you want the material to kind of be the same in every instance. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the basic stuff that I like to do with each of these without doing a deep dive into Poyomi. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this and I'm going to open it up. I'm going to go down to shading. Under shading here, which is always part of it, you'll have like, it'll say flat here. I like to change that to realistic. It's up to you. You know, there's so much stuff you can do with that. Personally, I think realistic looks better for some reason that eludes me, but like, look at flat, right? Flat's just flat. And if I go realistic, it kind of adds more texture to it, or more shading, more definition. And so I kind of like realistic better than flat, but to each their own. And I like to go down here to reflections and specular, click that on. And same thing, it's going to go ahead and compile because we just added that. And it looks like I'm in a rubber suit. So we're going to go ahead and turn smoothness down. I want a little bit of glow. And we can mess with our metallic here too if we wanted to. I'm going to leave it just like that. And that is kind of like the two things that I like to do. One other thing you can do to kind of like make your model pop, if like, especially if you've ever noticed and you're in VR and the room is dark and you can't see anybody's model because they're all dark and they're blending together, but then there's that one model that's like, what? I can see everything on you. How are you doing that? That is an emission. So by default down here, emission 0 is a black emission, emission 1 is a white emission, and the rest of them are all white emissions. So we'll turn on emission 1, And an emission will just kind of light up the stuff that's in the emission map. So if we had an emission map, and we'll get to that in a later video, it would only increase the brightness on that map. But since we don't have a map, it's just increasing the brightness on the entire model. So what do we do with that? You know, we don't want the model to look like this. That just looks bad. We're going to use base colors. So go ahead and click on use base colors. And now if we do it, you can see that it is using the colors that are defined to increase it. And very little goes a very long way on this. So I like to do like 0.2, and that will just give your avatar a little bit of pop. And you can do that with all of your textures so that, you know, your eyes aren't like invisible when you go into the room, but your body's glowing. Same thing with the hair. Just like on all of your materials, you can do that. You can just add a like 0.2 emission onto your avatar to kind of make it glow. And remember, this is saving to anytime you use this purple deer material, it's going to save those settings. That is like a basic setup for Poyomi that I like to turn on. There's so much else in here that we'll go over in a later video, like color adjustments and details and normal corrects and outlines and special effects, more special effects, and more special effects. Like there's cool things we can do with glitter and other things and audio link and so as I said before, like you're creating a brand new texture with this one, but what if you just wanted to use the custom and drop in your new textures into the old material? Well, then that old material becomes whatever you wanted it to. So at that point, you know, let's Control Z all the way back. There we go. And like, let's say we wanted to use this casual material. I'll just drop this base color in here. Doop. Okay. So this one already has all those settings and everything else. So we just changed the base texture, and let's go ahead and change the normal as well so that it matches the texture that we imported, which as you can see, it didn't make any change. And we'll go down here. Oh, it's still set standard. Oh, because we're still using the purple deer one. Okay. Body casual one. If you want to find where this is in your stuff down here, you can right click it and you can select material, and that's going to pop it into the folder that it's in. So we have our body casual one, and like if we go back, we'll go to custom textures, and we'll go ahead and drop those stuff into this texture again. Height map, body height, and we'll change it to Poyomi tune. And now we're back with the full body base color. There we go. Now we're back with the good one. She's so pretty. Oh, it's me. That's why I'm so pretty. Anyway, if we turn on our other ones, so we've got our other three here, we'll turn them back on, right? They've got their own textures. You can go ahead and edit those individually if you want, but if you just wanted to, like, I love this texture, and this is my texture, and this is the only texture I ever want on all my avatars, but I like the clothes, so I'm going to have 3 versions of the same avatar with the same texture. Like I said before, we'll click on this one. That's the garter belt. Body. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and lock in the shader. Before I forget, right click, select material, and then we'll just go ahead and drag this material onto all of our models. And you could change the name of it too, so you don't get confused. But now we have a full set. Now we have a full set. What? What is going on with you? There you go. Now we have a full set of purple deer avatars that all have the same texture, and we can swap between them and still look the same, but have different clothing options and different wingies and stuff like that. And we have our good model here too. And that's the basics. That's how to change your texture on your model and make it all personalized. You know, there's different ways to get different textures. You can buy them. You can buy a texture pack. You can buy somebody to commission textures. I do that. So if you're looking for a commissioned texture, go ahead and contact me. I promise I don't bite hard. And that's our video for today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to stay tuned for further content, click on that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. A meow. Wait, no, I'm a deer, not a cat. Okay, well, still working on that sign-off thing. I'll see you next time. Peace out. No, that's lame. Okay, bye.